Semi-finals are 1-1. The Tigers through to another prelim and the Cats through to another prelim as well. It's much the same as it has been over the last few years. And I'm sure you're pretty happy with your Tigers' performance on the weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, extremely happy. Obviously can't complain winning a semi, going through our fourth consecutive prelim. It's always good to see, yeah.
Yeah, and the Saints put up a little bit of a fight, but it was never too uncomfortable for the Tigers, was it?
No, not really. I'll touch on it obviously a little bit more in the review, but the scoreboard probably didn't reflect Saints' performance as well. But we were definitely pretty comfortable most of the way through. Yeah,
and they're exactly the same on the Saturday night as well. The Cats were just way too dominant for the Pies. But yeah, we'll get stuck into the games a bit later. But we'll start with a few talking points from the week that has been in the footy world, and it is the trade news just keeps hotting up, doesn't it? There's some big names in there this season. I feel like trade time it gets bigger every year, and the news that broke the other day was the Jordan De Goey to Carlton news, which since hasn't been denied, but it's been brought out that Carlton aren't interested in De Goey, and it was more De Goey was interested in going to Carlton. So that is huge for Carlton, considering where they've been the last few years, and to have a player like De Goey and other players as well wanting to come to the club is pretty big.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, especially to be able to say that you're not interested in a player like De Goey, who we've all seen what he can do. And I think to find yourselves in a position like that is definitely very positive signs. I mean, I guess from the other day, Gary Buckenara said it as well, that he didn't think Carlton should pick up De Goey. And, it's almost like they listened to what he said because they weren't interested. Yeah,
I think it's his price tag that's probably, scared Carlton off a bit. I mean, he's a great player, he's a match winner, but I think the price that he's after is just a little bit too much for him. He's a bit inconsistent, and we obviously know he's off-field issues as well. So I think that's a good thing that Carlton aren't going after him. I don't think he sort of fits the culture that they're trying to build there. So I think it's good for Carlton. They can focus on someone else because there definitely is a big fish coming, and watch this space, I think, with that one. And then, the other big names in the trade period as well. You've got Jeremy Cameron and Ben Brown. Both power forwards, and both look Ben Brown definitely is going to go play for another club. Just depends which club it's going to be. It looks like it could be Essendon, Hawthorn, Collingwood, and then you got Jeremy Cameron, who's it's either GWS or Geelong for him. So it's going to be a big trade period.
Massive. Two big key forwards. There's a few clubs in the market that need those sort of players. I mean, like you said, Essendon, Collingwood, Geelong are probably looking at someone as well. So there's a lot of options for these guys. Cameron, I guess, has always got the option to stay where he is, where Ben Brown doesn't have that at the moment. So like you said, Ben Brown definitely will find himself somewhere else. So it'll be interesting to see who's looking for him. Yeah,
absolutely. It's big names. And I think Jeremy Cameron, if you just don't know with GWS at the moment, the way they're sort of tracking, whether they're going to fall off the cliff or whether this season was just a real disappointing season and they'll bounce back strong next season. So you don't know with them. And, if he goes to a team like Geelong, who's already got Tom Hawkins in the forward line, well, it's just going to make them even stronger. So, so really looking forward to seeing how that plays out over the next month when the trade period does officially start.
I'll tell you what, though, the lead up to the trade period, you get the real football nuffies, don't you?
Oh, mate, I'm sick of it, to be honest. I'll hate it, but I love it. There's stupid rumours that get flown around and people say, oh, yeah, I know him through him. Oh, just shut up. No, you don't.
I love, a guest we had on a couple of weeks ago, Swoop Luke. I saw him post something the other day and he posted some outrageous trade rumor or something like that. And then at the bottom, he goes, yes, this is fake. It just goes to show how easily everybody can believe something they've read on Facebook or something like that. And it's so true. Yeah. It really is, because people post something and all of a sudden, oh, really? And then it's just, it's a bit much. But at the same time, like you said, I almost do love seeing it just because it's a bit entertaining.
Yeah, it's just shows all the nuffies that are out there just trying to get a bit of attention and trying to start these rumors that are far from the truth. And you feel like everyone knows everyone during trade period, don't you? Everyone, you feel like everyone's got a link to some sort of AFL player. So yeah, you try not to get sucked in or believe any of it until it actually happens. Speaking from experience as a Carlton supporter, we've missed out on some big names that we've been linked to over the last few years. So I don't believe anything until it's officially done. So, you can say Adam Sard's definitely coming to Carlton, but until he signs for the Blues, it's not happening for mine. So, yeah, as much as I'd love him to be there, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree with you 100%. Until, or for me anyway, until the club comes out and expresses their desire or the player expresses it, I don't believe in any of the rumors. And then, like you said, and then until it's actually signed, done on paper, you don't look too much into things.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll move on from the trade news and we'll go on to some bizarre news that came out over the last couple of days. Jack Higgins' girlfriend just gave the Bulldogs a bit of a clip for their behaviour in the hub.
Yeah, it went bang, didn't she? I mean, that's if you consider this news. I guess it's just a bit of a talking point that's gone around lately. The Dogs obviously having a bit of a party, celebrating their postseason, and Jack Higgins' girlfriend didn't take too kindly to that, stating that there was a few teams that are playing finals coming up trying to rest, etc., which, it makes a good point. Maybe do consider, have some consideration for others. But I think someone that you pointed this out to me, that someone commented on the video and said, you're away living in a hub in Queensland, doing whatever you want to do while we're all locked up here down in Melbourne. You're complaining about some players making a bit of noise at night.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I don't really want to give it too much attention, to be honest. I think she's just doing it to get attention. So let's not give her the satisfaction, shall we?
We will move on.
Yeah. Retirement, though, from the other day. Lyndon Dunn, 16 years at the highest level, has hung up the boots. He's been a real warrior for Melbourne and Collingwood.
Big time, big body player, the best mullet in the game. He's, like you said, he's been a bit of a soldier for both clubs, and I think the AFL world will miss him, especially the Pies at the moment. They'll miss him dearly as well. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, he was a great servant for both teams, and a few injuries to the back end of his career didn't help him. But yeah, you feel like he's just been around for ages, and but the list size is getting cut. It's probably time for him to hang up the boots, and I think there's going to be a few more retirements to come. Once the list sizes do get confirmed, I think we're going to see a little bit more of them as well. And some tragic news to come out during the week as well was the passing of GWS AFLW player Jacinda Barclay, which was pretty sad to hear, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was terrible news. I mean, she was an Aussie sports pioneer. She played a whole bunch of sports, which I think just goes to show the versatility of not only herself, but a lot of other AFLW players that have played multiple sports at a high level. So, I mean, Jacinda was in 5 World Cups for the Aussie baseball team. She won a championship as a quarterback in America, playing American football over there in the Legends Footy League. And then, as you mentioned, she did play 23 games with GWS and AFLW, and she was only 29. So she had done a fair bit of sport and represented it at the highest level. And to see her hear about this passing, is what I'm trying to spit out. To hear about this passing, it was sad news waking up this morning. Yeah,
terrible news, and it's good to see the footy world, get around it and get around the family and the GWS Footy Club as well. So that was good to see. All right, well, let's get stuck into the semi-finals from the weekend. The 2 games that were played, as we said at the top, both pretty well. Definitely one of them was pretty one-sided, and you could say the Richmond one was as well. But yeah, it all started in that Richmond game on the Friday night between them and the Saints at Metricon. Unsociable Tigers back at it again.
That's right. I read an article. Jared Waitley was saying that in 2017 we were the underdogs. Everyone, well, not everybody, but people were sort of, you love that underdog story and that. And then it's turned full circle at the moment. We're the team that everyone seems to hate. And the way we're playing as well, like you said, unsociable Tigers. It's rough footy. Look, I don't mind being tough on the ball, but once it starts happening off the footy, it's when you don't like to see it. And I guess that leans into what I was about to say about Tom Lynch. The way he was jumping at the footy on Friday night, he was looking pretty scary, but unfortunately he was looking scary both on and off the ball with that knee he was dropping. That upsets me. So I've been backing Lynch up all year. The good bloke that he is, Tom Nichols confirmed that when he came on the podcast. Good bloke that he is, Tommy Lynch. But you can't be doing those sort of things off the ball.
No, and I think he almost needs a suspension just to learn his lesson, I guess. I mean, like, I don't mind. He plays on the edge. It's good, but he just does cross that line every now and then. And I think, he just keeps getting off, and he probably thinks it's okay. And this is the line that he can cross. And I think he needs a suspension. And, from a Tigers point of view, you don't want him to be suspended for a prelim or potentially a grand final.
No, that's what I mean when I say looking scary, because for me, I see that happen and I think, oh, here we go again. He's probably spent nearly $5-6 grand in fines this year from all the incidences he's had. And it's not a good look for himself. It's not a good look for the team, because it gives the club a bad look as well, in the sense of, they're dirty, they play rough. And I think Lynch is honestly just lucky that the AFL got rid of that rule where it was if you had 3 fines, you automatically got suspended. So I'm glad they've got rid of that rule for Tom's sake. But I think you're right. He probably needed a suspension earlier in the season just to pull his head in a little bit. But we'll talk about the Saints as well, because obviously they had a pretty good season. I reckon they'd probably say their season was a tick. If you had told the Saints support at the beginning of the year they're going to make finals and win one, they'd probably be pretty happy with that. And look, they were undermanned, and they came up against a fully manned Richmond side who were eager to make up for their loss the week before. So the odds were probably against them, but I thought they put up a pretty good fight. It was fairly one-sided. I mean, Tigers were in front the whole game, but Saints did well with what they had, I think, and they can definitely be very happy with the season they've had so far. Well, they've had, sorry, it's over now, but yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Spot on with that. I mean, the Saints are... exactly right. If you told them at the start of the season that they'd make finals, win a final, play in a semi-final, they'd be very happy with that. So I think Brett Ratton's done an amazing job with them, and as a Carlton supporter, looking at what Rats is doing there, just makes you very happy, but very sad at the same time, because we had him, and he's controversially sacked, as everyone knows. So it's great. They've got a great coach down there. And I think they've got a really bright future ahead of them. And they recruited really well in the off-season last season, and bringing in those established players. And I know Brad Hill's been a bit criticised this season, but he's still a handy player, and he tracks opposition players as well. So I think overall the Saints have had a great season, and I guess now there's expectation on them though to perform in 2021.
Exactly right. Yeah, they're going to have to continue their form and probably even improve a little bit. They'd probably be expecting top 4, I reckon, a lot of Saints fans. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
for sure. The other semi-final was on Saturday night between Geelong and Collingwood, and this was a very one-sided game, and probably one of the most one-sided finals in recent memory.
Yeah, I don't remember watching a game and like this and having as little interest as I did. I think the only final we've seen this one-sided recently, and not to toot our horn, was the grand final last year. But other than that, it was a pretty boring game to watch. But in saying that, Patrick Dangerfield is really staking his claim to be the best big game player. 4 goals and just looked unstoppable. He wants that flag this year, doesn't he? Yeah,
he's a freak. He just looks like he's got that persona about him at the moment, that he's got a job to do, and that is to get that flag that the club wants, and he personally wants as well. It's the only thing missing from his resume is that premiership. So he just looks like a man on a mission. And I mean, geez, if they can put in a performance like that again this weekend, wow, they could easily take it out this season. So and then his mate Hawke up front was back to his best after a pretty poor performance the week before. So the Cats are finding form at a very, very crucial time, and sets up a massive prelim against Brisbane at the Gabba as well. So these prelims are going to be good, aren't they?
No, they're going to be very exciting indeed. But I want to talk about the Pies quickly. I mean, obviously Geelong played well and they're in very good form, but it just looked like Collingwood were just all over the place, which is unlike them. They've been pretty composed as of late, especially against West Coast the week before. So I think the Pies' poor performance made the Cats look a little bit better. What do you think? Well, what for you? What was it that you thought Collingwood just were lacking?
Oh, they looked cooked. They looked like they spent all their tickets last week. They were just un-Collingwood-like errors where they were just missing easy targets and they were really sluggish and slow and taking nothing away from Geelong. I thought they were great, but I think Collingwood just looked absolutely spent and they just had nothing left after such an amazing win last week. And they just had nothing for Geelong, and Geelong just had pretty much answered everything that Collingwood threw at them, and we were just clinical in front of goal as well. So it was. I think they were just cooked, and they never should have beaten West Coast. Let's be honest. So they really just gave everything for that game, and they just simply didn't have enough, in my opinion, anyway, against Geelong.
From where Collingwood were at, probably middle of the year when they had a lot of injuries, they weren't winning many games, that no one was really sure if they were even going to play finals. Do you think, considering where they got, it was still pretty good, or would you have expected more from Collingwood?
No, absolutely. I think they've done quite well considering the injuries that they had, and all the off-field stuff that they had as well. With the side bottom incident, the DeGoey incident, and just all those adjustments to the team as well. And I think at the start of the season, without these injuries, they would have been, Collingwood supporters would have expected them to challenge for the flag. But with the injuries and the things that did happen during the season, I think they would have been happy with a semi-final finish. And I think that they'll still be well in the hunt next season as well if they can keep their players and keep them on the park as well. So I don't think it's obviously very concerning that they lost by this much in a final. But I think they'll be fine next season.
Well, I think one player that people tend to forget is out because he's been out for so long is Jeremy Howell, and he's so important for Collingwood. I mean, Sidebottom obviously missed due to the birth of his child. He's in Melbourne, but Jeremy Howell is so important to that team, and he's been out for pretty much the whole season. So he'll come back in next year, and Collingwood will be scary once again. Yeah,
absolutely. I think all is well at the Pies. They're a great club, and they've got a lot of talent on their list. So, and as we said before, just keeping their players as well. There's been, trade interest from other clubs for a couple of them, and Treloar was sounded out the other day by Gold Coast, but he's come out and categorically said that he's staying at the Pies. So they just need to hang on to their players and keep them on the park. So I think they'll be right in the hunt again next season. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely. They've got a good culture down there at Collingwood too. I mean, you look after the game, I don't know if you saw the footage Channel 7 posted, Braden Maynard got around to every one of his teammates after the game and gave him a pat on the back. And then even on the ground, he picked up Hawkins at one point, towards the end of the game. And I think just that sportsmanship and I guess that camaraderie that you can see between the players, that with the talent they've got and that sort of connection between them, they're gonna do well very soon. Yeah,
absolutely. And they're led by a great coach in Nathan Buckley as well. So they'll be fine. I wouldn't worry too much about them. All right, well, let's get stuck into the prelim finals that are happening this weekend. It's obviously feels very different to your regular prelim finals in the past. None of them are in Melbourne. It's obviously nearly the end of October now, and footy's still being played, so it's a little bit different. And but it all starts on Friday night between Port Adelaide and Richmond at the Adelaide Oval. And before you get started on the Tigers, the last time you guys met in a final was in 2014, and Port Adelaide won by I think 80 points, was it? So not a great recent finals history at the Adelaide Oval for the Tigers.
No, not at all. Actually, bringing that up, I remember that day so vividly. Watching it at home, a couple of my cousins flew across, and I opted not to fly. I thought, I can't really afford it. I wasn't working much at the time, and lucky I didn't, because I was crying on my couch, and that's no word of a lie. I was shedding tears by halftime. I was that upset with that game. So, fingers crossed, it's not a repeat of that. But look, I think a good record that goes to Richmond recently, anyway, is we've never lost to the same team twice in a season. Since 2016. So since then, we've obviously been a pretty good side, and we've never lost twice to the same team. So we lose to them during the year. We intend to beat those teams in finals. So fingers crossed we can do that and continue that little trend. But we'll be entering a massive hostile environment. We all know what the Port Adelaide supporters are like. Adelaide Oval is such a I can't think of the word for it. It's just such a haven, I guess, for the Port Adelaide players and Adelaide and Crows as well. But so I think the crowd is going to be a massive factor going into this game. The home ground advantage, Port have had a week off. Although in saying that as well, Port have massive, massive expectations to win this game because top of the ladder all year. people kept writing them off. They kept saying, no, they kept talking themselves up, which rightfully so. They're top of the ladder. They have been the whole season. They've got the week off, home final. Everything's pointing at Port winning this game. So I think the expectations for them are very high.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Ken Hinkley came out at the start of the year and said, they're going for the flag in their 150th year. So they've put expectations on themselves, and rightfully so. They're a great side, and I feel like if they can beat Richmond, they will win the flag, because we all know what Richmond are capable of. And if you can beat Richmond in a prelim final, I think that goes a long way to winning the flag, and I think they will do it, because the pressure is going to be on Port. But as you said, expectation. Playing against a Richmond side who have, they've been there, done that. They know what it takes to win a prelim and win premierships. So this is huge, and I'm really looking forward to this game. It's going to be an absolute beauty. Both great hard sides as well. So it's going to be an absolute crazy contest. I'm really looking forward to it.
Who are you tipping?
I honestly don't know. It's actually bloody hard. I'm going to tip Port Adelaide just because it's at the Adelaide Oval. But geez, that's my only reason. Otherwise, but it would not surprise me if Richmond get up and do a good job as well.
Yeah, well, see, I'm very big on. I mean, not that this is the right way to look at it, but I'm pretty big at looking at previous performances. And last time we played Port, lost by 21 points. We were leading at quarter time. But these are just some of the players. I've written them down so I don't forget. These are some of the players that weren't playing last time we played Port Adelaide who will be playing this week. Trent Cotchin, Shane Edwards, Dion Prestia, Basher Hooley, Jack Graham, Toby Nankervis, and David Asprey will all be in the side, and they weren't the last time we played Port, and we only lost by 21. So it gives me a little bit of confidence. I know that doesn't mean too much considering different time of the year, that, even Port's a different side from what they were in round 11. But tipping against Richmond hasn't worked for me lately, so I'm gonna tip Richmond. But I like, same as you, I don't know. I really don't know. But just for the sake of things, I'm going to tip the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. Like, no one really knows who to tip, and it just shows how good the game's going to be and how even it is. So really looking forward to that one. And I think, personally, I do think the winner out of this game is going to be the premiership winner as well. So it's going to be a great contest.
It'll be massive through the middle of the ground as well, which is quickly touching on that, because last time we played Port Adelaide, they belted us in centre clearances, and it showed. But with Richmond's midfield we've got in this week, it should be a fairly good battle in the centre of the ground. But Port's midfield is really, really strong. And if they can get some clean looks to blokes like Dixon, Laddams, and some of their smaller forwards as well, it's going to be a hard time for the Richmond defenders. Yeah,
for sure. All right. The other prelim on the Saturday nights is between Brisbane and Geelong at the Gabba. And same with Port Adelaide. This is a huge opportunity for Brisbane. Home final. It's their first home prelim since 2002 as well. So this is a huge occasion for them. And I mean, people aren't going to say that the pressure's on them, but the pressure is on them. They're at home and they get through. They get a home grand final as well. So this is huge for the Lions, and they won't get a better opportunity than this to win the flag this season, which we've said multiple times here on the podcast. But in saying that, Geelong just looked scary last week. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if Geelong got up and beat the Lions as well.
Well, just some of the determination that you've seen in blokes like Paddy Dangerfield, specifically in his eyes, just the determination he wants to win the flag this year. I think they're going to come out red hot, the Cats. But in saying that, who knows, maybe Brisbane's week off will help them, let them recover a little bit. I know Harris Andrews the other week, when he played against the Tigers, was coming off a hamstring injury. So maybe an extra week of rest will, put him back at 100%, and the battle between him and Hawkins will be exciting. I can pretty much guarantee you that. But like you said, massive opportunity for the Lions, and a little bit like Port Adelaide. I think the pressure definitely is on them. It's the only time in history they've had the grand final at their home ground. It's probably the only time they'll ever have it there again. So massive game all around for this one.
Yeah, it's huge. And Geelong love playing at the Gabba as well. I think their record is incredible there. So this is going to be a huge contest. Who are you tipping?
I'm tipping Brisbane, and purely because Brisbane seem to love broken hoodoos at the Gabba. I know Richmond had a pretty good record there too till they beat us this year. And I think also just the fact that like I said, I just think the weight on Brisbane is just too big, and Geelong just seem to crumble as well come important finals a lot. So I hope, for Geelong's sake, hopefully they don't. But yeah, I'm going to have to go the Lions.
Yeah, I think Lions for me, just because it's at the Gabba, home crowd. And yeah, as you said, Geelong's record in prelims hasn't been great over the last 10 years. So yeah, Lions for me. And geez, what an occasion that's going to be if they get through the grand final. And it's a Brisbane crowd there. It's going to be huge. So yeah, really exciting prelim finals. Really can't wait for it. They're going to be great. And crazy to think the grand finals just a week and a half away, which is absurd.
Ridiculous. I can't believe it's that close.
Yeah, it's huge. So, yeah, so they're the prelim finals done, and yeah, we're really looking forward to them. And also another big event that's happening this weekend as well as the Brownlow Medal, which has definitely crept up on us, which is we spoke about before we jumped on the podcast. We completely forgot that the Brownlow Medal was on this week. Yeah, it's usually on a Monday night, but it has been shifted to a Sunday night this year, and yeah, it's going to look very different to what it usually is. And I think it's obviously getting filmed from the Gold Coast, and it's not going to be your usual red carpet show off your girlfriend type of night, is it?
No, which I think is almost better. I mean, sorry to all the ladies that love watching all the dresses and stuff like that, but I honestly only watch for the votes. I kind of wait till the vote count starts on Brownlow Medal night myself. I'm not too interested in all the stuff that goes on beforehand, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. Interesting, like you said, it's all going to be done virtually, so it'll be different, that's for sure. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I think there's a pretty clear winner for the night. So maybe might not be as exciting leading into it. I think the most exciting thing will be seeing who's going to win awards like Goal of the Year, Mark of the Year, and things like that, more so than the Brownlow, because the Brownlow is almost pretty much, you did say almost done and dusted. Yeah,
absolutely. I'll be very, very, very surprised if Lachie Neale doesn't win it. I think his first half of the season was so dominant that I can't see anyone catching him, especially in a short season as well. So, I mean, you could probably mount a case for Petrarca or Travis Boak, players like that, but
Dusty's a red hot chance.
Dusty polls well, even if he doesn't play. So,
he could have 2 disposals and they'll be like, yeah, that's two votes for him.
Exactly right. So don't be surprised if Dusty takes it out somehow. But then you've even got Jack Steele who could mount a case as well. So, but yeah, I think Lachie Neale will win it quite easily for mine.
Yeah, no, same here. But that will be the debate question this week, will it not?
Yeah, so that leads us on to our debate question. Who will win the Brownlow Medal on Sunday night? So yes, you heard that right. Sunday night, not Monday night, as it usually has been. So yeah, check out our Insta stories for that. Yeah, let us know who you think. Obviously, I think a lot of you are going to say Lachie Neale, but if you've got someone else, let us know and let us know why and where they're going to get their votes from. So yeah, check out our Insta story for that over the next couple of days. All right, well, that is us done. Obviously, it's a lot shorter at the moment. There's less games, and it's the last real weekend of footy, isn't it, before the grand final. So it's as you said the other day, it's the most purest football weekend, isn't it?
It is. It is the most purest football weekend most purest weekend of football. Yeah, it's there's always some pretty great games that happen on prelim final weekend. So hopefully, history can repeat itself and we have a couple more great games.
Yeah, absolutely. Really looking forward to them. And yeah, then we'll, what I am really looking forward to as well is our grand final preview next week, whether that's going to be with you happy or you in the sads. So,
it'll either be with me happy or me not on the podcast.
Yeah,
have to find another
could be doing it on my own next week. But no, it'd be great. I'd be really looking forward. Definitely, if Richmond get through, I'm sure there'll be a massive Richmond preview from yourself.
Yeah, sure will be. Sure will be.
But that is all we've got time for today. And as we say every episode, make sure you leave us a review on iTunes, follow us on Spotify, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We really appreciate all the support that's been coming through. Definitely doesn't go unnoticed, and we really love you all. So keep it coming. But have a great weekend. Stay at home, wear your mask, and we hope your finals team wins.
Pressure point! Pressure point!